Good afternoon, everybody. Keith Engle here for TGI Sports Talk's MLB update. We welcome everybody watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, wherever you might be today. We want to certainly thank all the groups that allow us to share, and you'll always see them scroll, some of our favorites scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Certainly John Gonzalez at the Sports Authorities, Greg Rawlings at America's Pastime, Flo and the Gang at Bottom Line Sports. Let's Talk Sports, where Flo and the Gang do their podcasting. And Ken Krause at Golf Bud Sports of all sorts. By the way, we had to interrupt the Ryder Cup for this show today. So if we turn into a little Ryder Cup updates, and that's not what you came in for, and you'll be upset, fair warning. Turn away now. U.S. down 3-1 right now in the morning session. By the way, leading two matches this afternoon and trailing in two matches. Need to get three this afternoon, man. Even this thing up for tomorrow's dual sessions as well, and Sunday's singles. Wish I could be there. My buddy Mark and his son are going to be there. They're there now. They're going Saturday and Sunday to the event. President is there. It's a very exciting time on Long Island. Beth Page on Long Island. We want to welcome Emma Jane Maxwell to the world. Brought in yesterday morning at 5:08. 20 inches long, 6.5 pounds. Greeted warmly by her older sister Scarlett yesterday morning. And then Papa brought them all food. And what a beautiful little girl. So anyway, with that out of the way. Hello, Rick. How are you, my friend? Thank you so much. Everybody's excited. I've been sick all week. I was very careful around everybody yesterday. Whatever I had is gone. The symptoms are all gone, except for the abscess I now have swelling up the right side of my face. So I apologize for the look today. But we just started an antibiotic, and hopefully we'll be okay soon before I turn into the elephant man. It was kind of scary what was happening yesterday, but we're getting better. So again, we could have a couple of Ryder Cup interruptions today. We apologize for anybody who might not like that. Fair warning, you can go now. Hello, AC. Good to have you with us. Well, I tell you what, a lot of exciting stuff going on, right? I mean, the Tigers finally win last night after losing 8 in a row. They're in second place still, even though they're tied with the team formerly known as the Indians, and will be referred to as the Indians for the duration of this show and all my shows. But they don't hold the tiebreaker. So the Indians only need to stay tied this weekend, and they would get it. And the Tigers have the Astros only one game behind them. The Yankees and Blue Jays tied atop the standings, but again, the Yankees hold. Yeah, I was at the we're not going to pop it. I was at the urgent care last night, and they did not recommend popping it because this thing inside my face is about almost the size of a golf ball. And they were worried about scarring this beautiful face. I don't know why they were worried, but if it doesn't drain on its own through the weekend, then I'll probably go back and have it drained. I'm not doing it, AC. I'll leave that to you. Where was I? Yankees and Blue Jays are tied as well. Good job by the Yankees coming back and playing really good baseball here. Important. There's a bye on the line here. Tigers could fall out of the playoffs. That's important. Yankees and Blue Jays both safely in, but one of them's going to have to play 3 games next week. Yeah, you know what, Drew? I haven't even looked at any stats today, so you can list them if you'd like, but I'm really only talking right now about the exciting baseball that is being played right now. We're going to talk some numbers because we're going to talk about the absolutely historic season Cal Raleigh's having. This, I'm going to tell you, and anybody can disagree with me if they like. U.S. just went down 2 in one of the other matches. Cal Raleigh is having one of the best seasons in the history of baseball. That's not hyperbole, guys. Look at the position he plays. He's not just a catcher. He's one of the best catchers, defensive catchers in baseball. He has a chance, and I'm pretty sure he'll DH all 3 games this weekend, at least until Sunday. And they're going to give him a chance to get to 63 home runs. He's got 60 home runs. He's going to be the MVP. And you know what? I know. And listen, nobody loves Aaron Judge more than me. If Aaron Judge is as important to his team as Cal Raleigh is to the Seattle Mariners, both these teams would be out of the playoffs. And I'm not one. You got to be on a team that is playing for something to be an MVP. It's not for the best stats of the year. But Cal Raleigh means as much to this team as Aaron Judge means to his team. And I know he's way ahead in batting average, he's way ahead in this. The numbers aren't everything. Baseball's a numbers game, but the numbers don't tell the whole story. This is one of the best seasons in the history of baseball. So appreciate it, because you probably won't see it again. In 30-30, it doesn't even mean anything anymore, by the way, Drew. 40-40. I know that Jazz got it the other night, but again, the stolen bases are, to me, gimmies now, for the most part. AC had something similar, and they told him that. Yeah, and then I had 2 years of it spread. Well, this isn't going to spread. I'm on an antibiotic, and we'll be fine. Oh, it's going to get out of my body. If it's not out by Monday, I'll be back at urgent care and let them take care of it. I told her she would have done it last night for me when I went over there, but but I didn't. Who wants to scar his face up? I don't want to do that. Got to root for your Red Sox this weekend, by the way, because the Red Sox are playing. I don't have to root for the Red Sox. Sorry. They're playing Detroit. I was thinking they were playing Toronto. They just got through with Toronto. So thank you. I have to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hate to say it, but I think your Yankees are going to win it, the World Series this year. But you know what? They're going to win, assuming they hit enough home runs. Because remember, here's an interesting number for you, guys. Guys like numbers. 50% of the Yankees' run production come from home runs. The league average is like 30 to 35%. Yankees is 50. So if they hit home runs, they'll win. That's how they won last postseason until they stopped hitting home runs. So they've got to be able to outplay their other fundamental issues, which I'm not going to belabor. The Yankees have had a good season. Aaron Boone's done a pretty good job with that pitching staff. They'll get that lined up now so that Fried starts game 1 of whether it's wild card series or the divisional series. And Rondon will go in game 2. Game 3 will most likely be Sheetler, whatever his freaking name is, Cam. And then they're not sure what they'll do. Mic been off. I hope it just went off. Anyway, what was I talking about? The Yankees played well down the stretch. I was talking about heel. Maybe starting game 4 because he can't pitch out of the bullpen. Will the Brewers rest players even though they will have a week off? I don't know that I would, Danny. Maybe, I'd give them a day off. Maybe give them all Sunday off, right? But, again, that week off is good. You get healthy, you get your pitching lined up. But I'd love to see the numbers on how the guys with buys have done heading into the divisional round. Because my guess is it's not overwhelming. There we go. It's not overwhelming, I'm going to guess, because baseball players are used to playing every day. It's weird to have nearly a week off. I'm not sure when the divisional series will even start. Probably, I'm guessing Friday. I don't have it in front of me. Can I tell? Hang on 1 second. Let's see what we can see. Let's see what we can see here. Playoff bracket. Let's see what that'll show me. October 4th. When is that? October 4th would be next Saturday. That's when the American League starts. And the National League would start on the 4th as well. So, yeah, nearly a week off. So I don't know if I'd give guys that much time off, but give them a little. And by the way, speaking of the Brewers, I brought this up this morning. We never got a chance to dive into it yet. Not a lot of home runs on that team. I like the way they play ball as a rule. Worry a little about their pitching. They got a great leader, though, in Christian Yelich. How many people were writing Christian Yelich off about 5 years ago when he was no longer one of the top 5 players in baseball, had some back issues? Christian Yelich has very quietly had a couple of really good years in a row here. And I like him. He's a baseball player. I know, right? They are watered down. I hate that. 30-30 used to mean something, man. 5 people do it in a season. My back. I'm sure you guys can hear me now. Boone's still a Yankees manager. Enough said Seattle or Detroit. Well, I I don't want to run into Seattle. I'm rooting for somebody to knock Seattle off. Detroit, listen, they got all they can do just to get in the playoffs, by the way. This would be a historic collapse, by the way, from for the Tigers. In the modern era, the 78 Red Sox, which I know very, very well, and so does AC, blew a 14-game lead to the eventual World Series champions and Bucky effing Dent to you Bostonians. This team was up 15 and a half games, I think, in July. This would be a historic collapse. Already has been, but is last night enough to give them enough momentum? Jack this morning didn't believe that momentum's a real thing. I kind of do. And I do think you want some momentum going into the playoffs. I don't think most teams really do poorly, the last half of September and then come back and miraculously turn it on in the playoffs. Yeah, I think I don't know. Somehow I hit the mute. I did the same thing yesterday. Thank you, Danny. I did the same thing Tuesday night, I guess, when I was doing a college football huddle. By the way, if a beautiful noise comes to your town, it was already out in L.A., Danny. Maybe it's still there. I don't even care if you're a Neil Diamond fan. What a tremendous show. This is I've never seen a better well, I shouldn't say that. I have seen as good as shows. But it was just a tremendous show and emotional, very, very emotional. And the guy who played Neil Diamond, well, there was 2. There was an old Neil Diamond now talking, but there was obviously a young Neil Diamond. And this guy sounded exactly like him. And I guess he was a winner of American Idol at one point. but he was tremendous. If you're in the Albany area, go to Proctor's, but you're not going to get a ticket probably. They're there until Sunday, but I don't think you're going to find a ticket. Also, hate to say that the Yankees win the division. You want the Yankees to win the division. I would rather play Toronto in the first round. It's fair. Again, there you're not really rooting for the Yankees. You're rooting for a situation, right? Michael, how are you? You're welcome. It's my pleasure to do the show. PCA, welcome to the 30-30 Club. You just homered to do so. Is that one of the 5 true? I don't even know. I might have chased Drew away. I don't know who's PCA. You guys and your acronyms. I'm old, I can't figure this stuff out. Momentum is big. Anyone that knows sports knows. Again, I never understand Jack's. And Jack, listen, Jack's not he's not a stupid guy by any means. He knows sports. He knows. Sometimes he comes up with some wacky ideas. And if you're listening to Jack, I love you. And I tell you the same thing to your face. But he comes up with some weird ideas. Momentum obviously means something. Home field obviously means something. Another thing Jack doesn't put a lot of credo in. But, I don't know. When were you born? You were born in 78? I thought you told me you were like 100 years old. 50. I thought you were, maybe you're 40-something. You wasn't born in 78, but your father tells me every season how they blew it, so I know it well. Yeah, I'm sure you heard Bucky effing Dent around your house a lot when you were a kid. Thank you so much, Michael. Bobby and his wife went last night. Oh, they went Wednesday? I saw a lot of people I didn't. But Dave Assey, who went to school with my brother, sat right next to us. I was there solo. Well, I wasn't there solo. We were there with 2 other couples. And my wife, I was a fifth wheel because my wife had to be with our granddaughter at the time. So she missed a great show. It was a great, great show. Oh, P. Crow Armstrong. Thank you. Peter Crow Armstrong. Nice trade by the Mets, though. How's that Baez thing working out for them? It's going to be a fun weekend. So we got the Yankees and Blue Jays. The division up for grabs, nothing else. For the wild card, you got the Red Sox, you got the Indians, you've got the Tigers. Well, Cleveland or Detroit, one or the other. And the Astros vying for 1 spot. Is that right? 1 spot? Why do I feel like I'm missing a team here? Maybe they're vying for 2 spots. Well, no, there'd be 2 spots open. So only one of those teams are going to get left out in the cold. So either the Red Sox, the Tigers, the Indians, or the Astros will be left out in the cold. One of those teams can't make it. And in the National League, you got the Mets. The divisions are wrapped up. Kudos to the Dodgers for wrapping up their division. But the Mets still have some work to do. They've picked it up a little bit here. But the Reds are still there. The Reds got to be kicking themselves for losing 2 out of 3 to Pittsburgh here the last series. They're a game back. And the Diamondbacks still hanging in there too, but it's hard to pass 2 teams, right? So they got to hope both those teams lose 2 out of 3. And I don't know who holds the tiebreaker over who. So, good stuff, though. Give me a fun. You know what? Again, what a great we got a great baseball weekend. We got college football. This might be the best weekend of the whole sports season right now, because I've got the division race in the American League. We got 2 wild card races that are going to be exciting. with a bunch of teams involved. Major League Baseball must be, drooling all over themselves. Sorry, I was going to say something else. We got college football, great matchups this weekend. We got the NFL in full swing, and we got the Ryder Cup. What more can you want? If you're a sports fan, you can't ask for more. Great finish to the season. Always amazes me how after 160-ish games, it can still come down to the final one or two. Right. Baseball's a game of inches, even after 160 games, right? Or 59. That's why, again, I don't get worked up over stolen bases anymore, because those inches they took away by making the bases bigger. You don't think it matters? How many bang bang plays do you see? Who thinks? Listen, I don't know what to do because I like to see good baseball. I want to see Aaron Judge hold on to the home run record. I'd love to see Aaron Judge win his third MVP. How do you not root for Cal Raleigh to if you're a baseball fan? I'd like to see records challenged, and that's an important one. The American League record, and in some people's mind, the real home run record is 62. A week ago, when he had 6 to go, I'm like, he's not going to do this. I wasn't sure if he'd play enough. He's played 157 games, Cal Raleigh. He caught 120 of those. And you would think the Mariners might think about sitting him down a couple days this weekend, but he's going to play Friday and Saturday. I would think that's a given. I wonder if they talk about that at all. Hold on one second. I want to see something. Tucker's back with the Cubs. They need him to play and be healthy, by the way. We'll look into this a second. Is the Cubs versus the Padres the only matchup set in the playoffs at this point in time? I think it is. Phillies are clinched, Dodgers clinch, Mets are clinging. I'm trying to see if they show me. I don't even know where it says that. I guess I'll have to look at let me see if I can figure it out by the standings. I believe that's the only thing that's locked in just yet, Michael. Yeah, I mean, obviously you don't know because there's every team in the Mariners are locked in the American League with their position. That's the only team in the American League that's locked into a position. And the Dodgers are locked into a position. Actually, wouldn't the Brewers got the best record. They're going to get a bye. So they're not going to play the Padres. Brewers are going to get a bye. I don't know what I'm thinking about. Brewers and Phillies have byes in the first round. So the Padres are going to play probably well, the Dodgers are going to play probably the Reds winner, I would think. And the Cubs would get the other one, the Padres, which you just said. Jesus. I just read the whole freaking thing. Yes, that's the only one set. So all of that, your answer's right, Michael. Here I am talking around in circles. I apologize. Oh, my God. Why can't I do this? Love the sports weekend and only and for any golf fans, a Ryder Cup too. As I said, yes, probably wrote that before I mentioned the Ryder Cup. I'd love to be there. My buddy Mark and his son Chris, who is a golf professional, Chris, not Mark. They're down there for the Saturday 2 sessions, Saturday and Sunday singles. So it'll be a lot of fun for them. And for us. Plus the NHL. I can't get excited about the NHL in September, Michael. But yes, if you're excited about the NHL, it's here too. The governor was booed roundly yesterday. And was it yesterday or I'm losing track of the days? Wednesday or Thursday, she was booed roundly at Bethpage Black. I know everybody hates our president, and I am not a Trumpster. I am a conservative Republican, not a Trumpster, as I pointed out many, many times. But just watch if you watch the way people greet him as the way they could greet her, apparently Democrats don't play golf. Cal this year needs to be respected and get the nod for the MVP. Listen, I don't disagree. I'm not worried about the batting average either in his case. And it's not in his case. It's actually pretty good for him. His defense trumps that anchor. And when he doesn't catch the ball or he's involved in the game planning with the pitchers. And listen, I don't disagree with any of that. The Mariner, and again, if Judge wins, it's not necessarily an injustice here, but I do think they'd be ignoring. Again, I'm going to say it one more time, and I've yet to have somebody disagree with me. They can feel free to do so. This is one of the most historic seasons anybody's ever put together when you consider the position he plays. Tremendous. All best of threes stay on the higher seed. The question is, will the higher seed be home all three games, or would game two be reversed? Yeah, Cubs Pods is correct. I don't know what I was reading. Jesus, good grief. I think this abscess is like seeping into my brain, which my brain is obviously much lower than probably where it ought to be. Anyway. Somebody's got the Rockies. Doesn't the Rockies playing again? They're playing the. By the way, Cal Raleigh's got to face the Dodgers. So the question is, how much? I'm guessing the Dodgers are not going to be going full speed this weekend either. I don't know who's starting these games. We'll look at the matchups tonight in a second. Actually, let's take a look at those right now a little bit early because they are very important, obviously. I don't know if we can get all the pitchers. Let's see if we can look at the important games through the weekend and the matchups. Cubs to St. Louis don't matter. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. I do want to see who the Dodgers are pitching, actually. But for the Yankees, it'll be Trevor Rogers against Will Warren tonight. Very important matchup. And Adrian Hauser against Shane Bieber. What a smart pickup for Toronto. That now they got Shane Bieber pitching in this series. The Red Sox will go against Casey Mize tonight. They'll throw Kyle Harrison. The Mets are throwing Sprott, against Alcantara. In Miami, by the way. You watch. This is the type of series the Mets lose. The Cleveland will get Jack Leiter. They'll pitch Slade Kanochi. That's an interesting name, eh? That game doesn't matter. Houston will throw Jason Alexander against Kyle Hendricks, my old classmate. Padres don't matter. Emmett Sheehan for the Dodgers tonight against George Kirby. I would think the Seattle would be. Seattle's going to have a bye, so they can really do what they want to do, I think, as far as pitching. So can the Yankees, by the way. I had a discussion with Jack this morning. Will the Yankees throw Fried Sunday if they needed to win the division? And I say yes, because he'll pitch Saturday anyway on full rest. Maybe it's me. Who the Dodgers going to throw? They're going to they've got Glasnow scheduled to pitch on Sunday. Saturday. I'm a little surprised at that. And Clayton Kershaw on Sunday. I'm not sure if Kershaw is part of the rotation in the playoffs or not. I know that Ohtani is. What are you talking about here? Up 3-1. Oh, 3-1, I see. Thank you, Danny. We did have a change. Young and Thomas went 3 up. Griffin, DeChambeau up 1 up. But then they trailed the other 2. This wouldn't be that great. I mean, coming away, what would that make it if this were to hold? Scheffler down 2 again. Spawn got up, Spawn got up to such a great start today too. I'm trying to do the math. That's 5. That'd make it 5-3, right? I guess if we were to hold up this way, that's not the end of the world. Not a good start. They were down 3-0. And a great win by Cantley and I can't remember Cantley's playing partner this morning in the alternate shot. Your abscess brain is still better than 98% of those Green Bay Packer fans. Wow, if you said Cowgirls, I would have laughed, but Packers. Not sure where we get that from. Kershaw will be in the bullpen. There you go. Thank you. It would be 3-5. Well, 5-3, right? 3-5. Yeah, when DeChambeau and the kid playing with him, I felt bad for the kid playing with him because the president came right out and walked right to the tee. He walked from where they come out of the clubhouse, and it's a little walk to the first tee, and the president I thought was going to tee off. Quite frankly, that's what it looked like. And he's played with DeChambeau a lot. If you watch, you can find their videos on Facebook. He's got the weirdest swing, Trump, but he really finds a way to. He doesn't. His results are not that bad. As a diehard Lions fan, I have to hate the cheeseheads for whatever possible. I support anyone leaving their own team. Or loving their own team, sorry. Are the Yankees better off not winning the division? Nah, I don't know. It's probably a good, and maybe to find the results, maybe we have to wait for the division rounds to get played out, Michael, and there could be an article in there somewhere. Check out Michael's latest article, by the way, on TGI Sports Talk. I've already shared it to a few of the groups in my personal page. And Michael, I apologize for not getting back to you on the other 2 that you had. But the baseball article I think you wrote, I think would be appropriate maybe to put up this weekend. And as far as this and the football one, I think we'll hold them next week. The one about the polls. And listen to me. I as I said, I struggle with this myself because, well, you think it's good to get a bye and get some rest and get your pitching lined up, get your bullpen lined up, your starting rotation, blah, blah, blah. Baseball players are used to playing every day. And when you take a lot of time off, it's not good. Not always good. And I have a sense, and I don't have any data to back it up, that the teams with the byes have probably, I want to say it's probably 50-50, and that's only a gut feeling. I don't know. Can I find it quickly? Play the Jeopardy music, Michael, while I try to see if I can find this. MLB. I'm not even sure how to look for this. Teams with a bye record. Let's see if I can get this. And then Major League Baseball first round, 1-2 seed, give them first round byes. Here it is. How about first round success since 2022? %. Lost in the division series since 2022. So since the last 3 years, I'm right, 50%. Lost in a championship series 25%, won the World Series only 16%. So if I want to play the odds, Michael, then the advantage is not to get the bye. Depends what a matchup would be too. I don't think they get Seattle. I don't want to see Seattle in the playoff round and 3 games on the road. They don't get that. That's going to be probably Houston or the Tigers or the Indians. Thank you for the Jeopardy music. I wish I could get a longer run on this. Let's see what this one gives me. 2024, 3 of the 4 with teams with buys advanced. In 2023, 3 of the 4 teams with buys did not advance. 22, 2 teams did and 2 teams didn't. And that's all the data. Maybe that's as far back as we go, I think, maybe with this data. I guess we've only had this playoff format for 3 years. Is that right? Man, seems like more than that. Where'd Drew go? You didn't give me those 30-30 guys. I must have chased them off. Sorry about that, Drew. I started to mention Michael Tucker's been banged up. Hang on. Jeez. Kyle Tucker, not Michael Tucker. Who the hell is Michael Tucker? He's been banged up. They need him healthy in the playoffs. He'll be back to play this weekend, and they need to get him warmed up and ready to play come Tuesday, is what I would say. Mariners are going to be a hard out with the staff. They got a good staff, and their lineup is much deeper. I think this team did very, very well at the trade deadline. Got deeper with Naylor and Suarez in that lineup. That lineup was already performing pretty well. And Raleigh having just a tremendous, tremendous series. And listen, if he doesn't have a good playoff, let's not get on his case that it takes away from this historic season. He's had a great season. With the perfect, the advantage or disadvantage, 50%. If you take it year by year, there's a big advantage one year, not so much of an advantage one year, and absolutely no advantage another year. So, good stuff though. It's exciting. I wrote down something else here, and I can't read what the hell it is. Body. What is that? Oh, Bochy. With the Rangers eliminated, and what an up and down season. I've said all year that I think Bruce Bochy might step away. And there are some whispers now that Bochy, and I think I talked about Snitker last week as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see one or both of those guys step away from managing. He has not really spoken about what his future is. His 3-year contract is up, so he's a lame duck right now. The Rangers won a World Series at the beginning of this contract, and he's 70 years old. He retired partly because of some health reasons. I want to say hip and back issues have plagued him. That's why he retired the first time from the Giants. I believe. They said they'll talk after the season is over. Him and Chris Young, the president of the team. My guess is I think this is it for Bochy. I really do, and I wouldn't be surprised if Snitker stepped away as well from the Braves. He nearly did last year. It sounds a little. I had this guy who used to work for me. So Michael talking about flipping a coin. I had a guy who used to work for me, Michael, who absolutely refused to believe in the randomness of the universe. But there are some things that are accurate. 50-50, 50-50. There's only two sides to a coin, right? You got this side and you got this side. That's all you have. And if you flip it 1,000,000 times, it's most likely going to come up 500,000 times one way, 500,000 times another way. Now, maybe it'll come up 499.99. That's still pretty close to 50%. He didn't never believe that, and which I think is kind of where you're going, that every flip, the last flip has nothing to do with it. But again, it does matter if I'm using the same coin with the same two things on either side. That if I just keep flipping it over and over and over again, then eventually, but this is not like a coin. There's a whole lot more involved in this percentage than just heads or tails. So I think it's more like, yes, each situation is going to be new unto itself. I sound like Kamala Harris talking there for a second now, right? Did you ever hear any freaking word salad worse than that? I swear to God. Oh my God. You can't make it up, man. Scott Kobe. Thank you, my friend. I don't know what you're congratulating me on. Were you here? Did you hear about the birth of my granddaughter? Hopefully, the beautiful Emma Jane. By the way, Scott, you need to pop back into I'm not going to get into it today because this is a Major League Baseball update. You need to pop in next week on the college football huddle. I know I did it Tuesday this week, but you got some splaining to do, my friend. Looks like the Sox are going to do this. The Sox will be a dangerous out. You know, the American League, I think both leagues, wide open once we get to the playoffs. Wide open. Right? Red Sox they get as good a chance as anybody in the American League. I'll root for my Yankees. The team scares me, and Danny mentioned it earlier, and I've been talking about for a while, is the Mariners. Scare me a lot. Yeah, I know. I explained it very badly, though, didn't I, Michael? Some days I have my own case of word salad. Thank you so much, Scott. Rick Sherlock and Michael Dighton Edwards. You see how I got his name right? All I need is to be told once, and then I forget. I'm just kidding. Michael, I remember. They used the same method in roulette until the damn green and double zeros came into play. Danny did. Listen, here's what I do every time. You know what I do with roulette? On a cruise. So we'll have a 2-week cruise, a 7-day cruise, whatever it is. And we got 2-week cruise coming up in November. Good grief. We're almost there. 6 weeks, not even maybe. So every night on my way to dinner, depending on where the casino is located at, I may do it before I go to for my pre-dinner cocktails at the Amari or the Amari bar on the ship I'm getting on 2 weeks, or the Alchemy bar, whichever one I might be going to. So if the dining room's before the Alchemy bar and I'm going on my way, I don't know why you need to know all this, to the casino. And if it's on the way to the dining room from the bar, then I stop on the way. Anyway, I quickly go by the roulette reel and I put 100 on red or black. One spin, off we go. Now, theoretically, my odds reboot each time, right? I'm only doing that one time every day. I'm way ahead. Way ahead. So my own randomness of the universe, I guess, comes into play. Yeah, I don't even know. You know what? I somehow end up in way too many freaking leagues, man. I got this league of my, it's in TGI Sports Talk's name. CA runs it. I'm still in one from work, which costs money. I mean, another one my old boss got me in a couple of years ago, which is a lot more money. And I suck in those two leagues, I can tell you right now. And I should have all kinds of time to check this stuff out, and I just don't. You know, that wouldn't. Everybody's are crap. Uh-oh. In an unbiased opinion, Yanks or Blue Jays. Can I make that? To do what? To win the division? It's going to be tough for the Yanks because Toronto has a game in hand with the tiebreaker. So if the Yankees win 2 out of 3 this weekend and the Blue Jays win 2 out of 3, the Yanks are getting a wild card. I don't think the Blue Jays are going to go get swept or win one game this weekend. They've got Tampa Bay coming to Toronto. The Yankees have Baltimore. Baltimore is going to want to beat the Yankees. I see both of them win 2 out of 3 and the Yankees getting a wild card. That's what I think. If you're asking me for something after that, I'll have to elaborate. Every single flip, every spin means nothing for the future of what was past. This is getting very deep. It's all independent, and there is no butterfly effect to a random event. None. Good point. But if I have a two-headed coin or red and black, now again, there have been a ton of spins in between the times I go back, so it's random every single time. But if I sit here and flip this coin over and over and over again, Michael, the odds are it's going to come up heads X amount of time and tails X amount of time. Same. Now, with my roulette proclivity, if you will, there's been, thousands of spins in between me putting my money down and picking it up and collecting my winnings until the next time I do it, which is, again, 24 hours later. So I've definitely got a new event. No, I play, the only thing I play in it, because the odds are terrible on the ship. They only pay 3-2 on blackjack, and they got all kinds of BS little freaking, they try to grab your money with all these little side freaking games. I just want to play blackjack. I don't even play roulette. I just play once through the casino, as I said, one play, red or black, and I'm out of there. And I play I'll play a Hold'em tournament. And a 2-week cruise, I'll probably play maybe 5 Texas Hold'em tournaments. They go pretty fast because the blinds, they move really quick. I won the last time out. I won one. I finished second once, third once. So I made probably about, I don't know, $800 or something. I used to play blackjack a lot. I don't bother anymore. If they have a poker table, then I will play. Well, most of them don't have them. They'll just play Hold'em tournaments several times throughout the cruise. So that's what I play. Vegas is different. They're going to pay better odds. The cruises suck. 3-2 on blackjack. Green 00 Turning Stone. That's a big weekend for sure. Oh, great. Griffin and DeChambeau are now tied through 11. So U.S. only leads one match. TGI's fantasy stresses me. I cannot stand the individual defense players. And I benched tight end Tucker T. Tucker at wide receiver for the Raiders last week. I kind of like the individual defensive players myself. But I just can't. I'm having trouble getting focused in fantasy this year. I don't know why. This happens to me every few years. I lose my energy or my desire. It happens in baseball. Again, I was in the same fantasy baseball league from 1987 until 2018, 31 years or so. Almost the same 12 guys, virtually that whole time. It was a great league. There's a lot of money involved, and it was a deep league. It was a dynasty league. And I just burned out. I didn't play at all until Drew talked me into playing in his league a couple of years ago. And I'm struggling again this last couple of years with football and baseball, just keeping myself interested. Unbiased, I picked the Jays to win the division, but the Yankees to go further in the playoffs. I think that's fair. Now the Blue Jays played baseball in the postseason the way they played it in the regular season. They can put pressure on teams. If you want to talk about teams that I like the way they play to potentially surprise people in the playoffs, it could be the Blue Jays. It could be the Brewers. And not that would necessarily be a surprise. Maybe it would be given their past history. But they put pressure on defenses. They put the ball in play. The Yankees don't do that. The Yankees hit home runs, they win. Baltimore night, T. Rogers tonight is tougher than a Vegas steak at 3:30 a.m. He's a guy that I believe the Orioles traded for when he was hurt in Miami. So it's a tough game for the Yankees tonight, too. And Danny agrees with Michael's assessment of the Blue Jays and the Yankees, I believe. New career on the World Poker Tour. Those guys are too good. I'm pretty good at reading people. I'm good at that part of the game. I'm good at playing my own hand, but I'm not good at the math. The mathematics often get away from me, especially as I get tired. Which you can't get in these Hold'em tournaments on the ships. If they last an hour and a half a tournament, that's a lot. But when I used to go to Turning Stone and play, sometimes those would go a long time. You just lose your edge because I can't stay mentally focused that long on things like math, right? And there's a lot of math in poker, and believe it or not, I play pretty well, but I'm not really good at the math part of it. I'm really good at reading people and following their and picking up on their trends. But I'm not that good at the whole math part of everything. I picked the Euros to win. What? That is, I'm going to have to ban you from the show for a week. Never bet against your team. You can't bet. I don't care. If you bet on the Euros, I'm going to have to. I don't know what I'm going to do, Scott. I'm baffled that you would even do this. Keegan Bradley completely messed up the morning with his pairings, and Scotty has an immense amount of pressure on him. He does. But I think Scotty's played with as much pressure as this at other times. I do think it's important they come away with 2 here this afternoon and not 1, because 6-2 is a big difference from 5-3. I didn't like the fact that he didn't play Spawn this morning, quite frankly. I thought that was the only glaring error that I saw. And I guess I would have played all the rookies this morning, so they get their feet wet. So I guess I can fault him for that. But I like Keegan Bradley a lot. I think, again, all you got to do is put the pairings together. And if you don't think the players at this point in time, years ago in the Ryder Cup, I guarantee you they just went along with whatever they said. If you don't think that Scotty's saying I'm playing with so-and-so, and that carries a lot of weight, you're probably nuts. But I wanted to see Keegan play, quite frankly, because I think he can play better than some of the players I've seen here. Crazy thought. What about Doc Roberts going to the bullpen every single game in the playoffs? Think of it. You have Glasnow, Snell, Ohtani, Sheehan, and that deeper bullpen. And that deep bullpen, deeper than the Fat Kids. Seriously, think about it. It would work. Well, I'm not crazy about the Dodgers bullpen, quite frankly, but doing a bullpen every single. I said I thought you would see a bullpen by somebody in these playoffs, and I still think you might see it. You might see it out of the Yankees in a game 4, possibly. You might see it out of the Mets if they get far enough to play in that type of game. I don't think the Dodgers are going to do that, though. Cleveland's going to be out after round 1. They're going to fizzle. I don't know. I like teams that are hot. They got to get there first, too, by the way. Yankees don't play baseball that would impress Tom Amansky and his videos back in the day. Tom Amansky. I was just going to go with Tom Amansky, and it popped in my head. No, they do not play a brand of baseball that would excite purists, for sure. Scott will have to tell you that. Tonight I'll probably throw some money on the USA if it's 5-3. I was looking this morning after they were down 3-1, and they were only plus 125 on DraftKings. If they get down 6-2, I'm going to bet them. Because it'll be a pretty good value. It might be plus 500. DraftKings, you can pick the exact score, too, and there's one of them you could win like $2 million on a $100 bet. I don't think it's possible right now. It was like 21-7. Nobody's ever won 21-7. Getting rookies' feet wet is great unless you have anti-fetish. I don't know what I'm reading. Sometimes I feel like I'm like Ron Burgundy up here, and I'll just read whatever you put up on a teleprompter. That's pretty funny, though, Michael. Hot take of the Dodgers. Also out after round 1. I still think the Dodgers are the best team in the National League. I never felt like the Dodgers were not going to win that division, even when they were reeling a couple of times. 2, if not 3 Dodger starters will be in the bullpen. Yeah, but you still got 4 good starters that go with them. Only reason I took the Euros was plus 180 with 100% boost on the FanDuel. All right. Well, enjoy your time when you move to France. You're going to be on a government watch list faster than you can shake a stick at. Let me tell you right now. For the love of Hawaii. I didn't even notice that name. Yamamoto, Glasnow, Ohtani, and Snell are the starters for the rest to the bullpen. Makes sense. Foot washing is a thing in the Wesleyan churches. I did not know that. Love trying to bring out your inner Burgundy. That's one of the funniest movies ever. The first one was hilarious anyway. That's one of my favorite lines. He'll read anything you put on the teleprompter. Oh, guys, 4 o'clock. We're out of here. Ryder Cup update before we go. Young and Thomas up 3. Griffin, DeChambeau are even. McElroy, let's see. Burns and Cantley are down 1. Scheffler and Spahn are down 3. Yikes. Got to watch the rest of this. First manager to be fired Monday. Not counting interim guys. How about Rocco Baldelli? Let me just take a quick look. We'll go a minute or two long here. Monday, I'm going to say Rocco Baldelli with who else should be watching their back? Marlins managers should always be watching their back. Interims, I'm not counting, obviously. Marmol, I think, too. Those would be my two odds-on favorites, would be Marmol and Baldelli. First one's out. You're welcome, Michael. Much love to you guys. Thank you, Danny Fuller. Good luck this weekend. Well, you won't need it, but good luck keeping Raul under 63. Peace. Take care. You too. Guys, have a great weekend. Enjoy the baseball. Enjoy the football, college and pro. Enjoy the Ryder Cup. It's going to get better than this for the U.S. I'm telling you right now, they're going to make a move here. Well, Scheffler is running out of time. Let's watch this Scheffler ball before we go. Oh, that's DeChambeau. Right to the middle of the green. I'm going to tell you, it's going to be 5-3 after the day today. I'm the man. Only in my mind. It won't be Monday though. It'd be interesting if I fired a Monday. Actually, I'd have fun with that. All right, guys. Come, we got no music playing here. What's going on? I can't get out of here without music. You guys hear any music playing? Somebody tell me they hear music. I can't hear a thing. This sometimes happens. Sunday morning, the Sunday Stream of Consciousness we will be here at 9 a.m. and you'll also have the big football show for an hour before that. I feel like I hear music, but I can't tell. Yeah, I was sitting it on and off, so I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I'll say goodbye. See you guys on Monday. 5.5, 2.5 for Danny. Bye-bye, guys.